Caitibuggz just dropped their final thoughts stream. Let's hear if there's anything different she's gotta say.
He felt up my tits. I didn't feel up his tits. He tickled me.
Hello, boys and girls! Caitibuggz is at it again with their thoughts stream. At this point, she's made 2 videos and 1 Twitter post on the situation. The first video was really well received. Of course, the most inquisitive of us went full Dora the Explorer mode, trying to find any holes in her story. The more based of us simply wanted to wait and see what George the Tickle Monster had to say about the situation. Overall, the vast majority understood that Katie was, in fact, a victim, but her allegations were weak and left much to be desired. She cried real tears and showed that she was really sad about the entire situation that transpired. The question still to be answered was Katie a victim of? Not long after, GeorgeNotFound dropped this context video apologizing to Katie for their bad and awkward interaction. George admitted to touching her, although he contextualized it by they had been cuddling for over an hour and Katie didn't make any de-escalation attempts. Caitibuggz was a victim of her own actions. She had multiple chances to de-escalate George's advances and leave. People started changing their minds after realizing that what Caitibuggz went through was a normal, next level reason and overall a normal event. Except Katie failed to realize it and de-escalate the situation. End of the story, right? No! Caitibuggz had to come in again and make another video. Just let the topic die. Go to therapy like Shelby did after she got mauled by Wilbur. The internet is no public therapy session. If anything, it will only make it worse for you because people will also share their opinions. Instead of getting help from a professional, she went to the internet. Of all places. Anyway, the basic summary of this 1-hour video is that Caitibuggz changed their story from under the shirt touching to full-on boba grabbing. Strange that she left out that in the first place. And yes, I went through her 1-hour video multiple times and cut the most important parts. So please, subscribe or else GeorgeNotFound will come to your house at 3 AM and grab your bobas. Oh, onka onka boba.
It's the stream I promised that I would do. My final thoughts on everything. Just everything that I need to get out before I can even begin to heal anything.
No, go to therapy. That's where you heal. The internet is not your public therapy session. Far from it. Had you tried to heal through therapy, maybe your story could have been more coherent and you wouldn't have needed to make 2 videos on it and 1 angry Twitter post. Also, if we were supposed to believe you, we need concrete proof. Essay is the kind of stuff people in prison get murked. It's the most frowned upon act someone can exert. It's so bad that even prisoners look down on essay perpetrators. If you go to jail convicted of essay, chances are you won't be staying there for long. Are we supposed to believe you face value with one of the worst accusations possible? Where are the receipts? Why is your story constantly changing? Is it evolving perhaps?
For me to expose, drop new drama, or just anything to talk about, it's not that kind of stream.
Just how many times will you be making final thoughts videos? It's still drama, and you're also the one to refuse and let it die. Just go to therapy already. It's so hard to see someone trying to cope with their bad experiences through the internet. Brother, that won't help.
I didn't even write anything to say. I've written down, the things I want to talk about. And this isn't edited, so I can't, go back or cut out the pauses that I make. So again, I apologize. This is going to be all over the place and probably not make any sense.
How are we supposed to support you if you don't make any sense? I mean, at least you wrote down the points you wanted to talk about, but if you say that you don't make any sense and on the next breath you accuse a man of essay, are we playing with people's lives here?
The one biggest thing that I want to clear up, it is fucking sexual assault.
Stop swearing, you're freshly 19. Also, prove it. The only thing that you proved was that you were a victim of your own actions. You had multiple chances to leave, but still, you chose to stay.
I'm not gonna apologize, say that it isn't sexual assault, that I'm not a sexual assault victim. The touching that he has admitted to many times, this touching that he admitted to not asking or getting my consent before he did, he felt up my tits.
You let a stranger cuddle you for 1 hour straight. You got reezed and later regretted it. If a stranger starts touching me, I won't not move for 1 hour straight until he gets any closer to my no-no zone. By that logic, you full-on the room since you entered it without asking for consent? Do we need to start asking for explicit consent for everything now? Excuse me, miss. May I fondle your breast, pretty please? Boba? What happened to the situational awareness? Also, your story went from under the shirt touching to full on grabbing Boba. By the next final thoughts, everyone in that room will be touching and harassing you. That's why I said that you should have gone to therapy and tried to internalize what happened with the help of a specialist instead of the internet.
Unwanted sexual touch is literally in the definition of sexual assault. It's fucking sexual assault, and I'm never gonna apologize for saying it is.
Stop swearing. You're freshly 19. You cuddled with a man for 1 hour or more. You did not go straight for the boba. You had multiple times to de-escalate the situation. Do you want to set this kind of precedence? If so, SA allegations will start flying left and right, and by next year there will be no man that's not in jail because people don't go around and ask if their relatives want to be touched. Besides, who cuddles with a stranger for a full hour with no sexual intent? Is your plan to hedge tickle monster George for a full hour without any other plans? This is not to say that if you cuddle a girl, you instantly have permission to go full silverback gorilla mode on her and splurge your seed all over her, but the intent is already growing there, so you go slowly, thread lightly. Guys, I don't know if you've ever gone to prom, but if you are a boy and start slow dancing with a girl you like, you slowly move your hands from her hips a little bit down. If she's not interested, she just moves your hand up before it reaches anywhere she doesn't want to be touched. You were slow dancing, goddammit! It was the mood and the place. If she accepted, it was because she was at least 1% attracted. If she didn't want any touching, all she had to do was move your hands back to the place they should be. It teaches boys to take hints. It teaches girls to say no and realize when boys are being mischievous and have other intentions. What was Katie expecting when George was tickling her under the shirt? For him to do a magic trick and pull a dove out of her shirt? Minecraft or logic will be the downfall of humanity. What's next? I get an allegation because you didn't give me consent to post the video?
It's not fake allegations. I'm not a liar. Quite literally, the thing that I was talking about is my sexual assault. And that's the one thing he confirmed. He can sit there and confirm that he did it. And I'm still sat here getting called a liar, getting called a fake victim.
You're a true victim. A true victim of your actions, alright? You're on the internet. Everyone has an opinion. If you don't want people to share their opinions, don't make the video in the first place. Also, I support you. However, I do not support you blindly. I don't even trust myself, let alone a girl online sharing their story with a lot of holes and room for interpretation. And you lied about stuff. You even said that you got stuff wrong. It's a definition of lying. He also didn't confirm any sexual assault. He confirmed that there was some sort of awkward interaction between you two that in the end made you feel bad. By your own definition, he isn't explicitly saying that he confirmed the essay. You're contradicting yourself.
No, he didn't ask if I wanted it, but somehow he had enough energy to ask the question, "Are you ticklish?" Which I responded with no. I'm not fucking ticklish. And that's what led to him feeling up my tits.
You had energy to make 2 separate 1-hour videos on the situation, 1 mega Twitter thread, and say no to the question, "Are you ticklish?" Yet, you didn't have the energy to move away when he started to go tickle monster mode on you. Huh? Katie, you were not a child. You were a freshly 18-year-old adult. You need to grow up and own up to your actions. This shifting of blame, "I was so naive and dumb," it's just such bullcrap. When will grown-up people start owning up to their mistakes? And also, why didn't you divulge this super important piece of evidence in the first place so you could keep adding up new allegations to your original story? Brother, this isn't Lego. It's your fault for putting out a really vague first allegation video in the first place. So don't start adding new evidence now.
He will never understand that feeling when I realized this wasn't just a bunch of people hanging out on a couch together, a bunch of friends hanging out, when it was inherently a sexual thing. And that instead of just a bunch of friends on a couch together, I was being wanted for my body.
And when did you, Caitibuggz, realize that? After 1 hour of prolonged cuddling and edging GeorgeNotFound? After your first video? Will you make a third 1-hour video clarifying it? A bunch of friends? More like Dream, his girlfriend, 2 of her friends, and 3 strangers. Random people you just met aren't your friends! And you don't cuddle with your friends! Think, Katie! Think! Would you cuddle with someone you just met?
Okay, people saying I'm trying to ruin a man's career because He tickled me.
You might not want to end George's career, but that's the message you're sending out, regardless of intent. Actions speak louder than words. George didn't mean to hurt you, but he did. It wasn't his intention. Still he did. See how I can use the exact same point you're making against you? You didn't want to end George's career, but he lost subscribers, he lost a Feastables collaboration, and he will be forever the tickle monster Boba found in the public perception. Not everyone is like me.
I really do encourage everyone to watch my response on it. Like, either read my response on Twitter or watch the original video.
Not everyone is a no-life maxer, loser, creep, incel like me. People don't have 2 to 3 hours of their day to watch your entire arc. A little selfish, don't you think? Also, you put absolutely no effort into your videos. You said in the beginning of this final thoughts video that you didn't write anything down aside from the topics you wanted to look over and you wouldn't be making any sense. Hello? Yet you want people to spend hours watching you make no sense. She swears again, but I cut it out. Stop swearing. You're freshly 19.
Fully owning up to and clearing up right now. The screenshot that my recent response on Twitter, this is the only kind of like response thing I'm gonna give. I will acknowledge. It's a real screenshot. What I got wrong and what was miscommunicated was who it was from. It was actually from, instead of the guy who left or wasn't there for the assault, it was from the girl.
The most important piece of evidence regarding George knowing Caitibuggz' age was a lie. You lied, Katie. You say it was a miscommunication. Yes, still a lie nonetheless. Without this, you have no evidence that George knew your age. So, by definition, you were a liar. Thanks for clearing that up and acknowledging it. Still a lie. A big one at that. So now we default to George didn't know your age.
You kind of mixed up who the text was from, but I'm sure it won't be a big deal because it was only one of the minor things you said.
Guys, the biggest evidence that showed that George knew Katie's age, that's not a big deal. A small oopsie, right? It's really minor, right? No! Like you, it's not minor. It's a major piece of evidence that made people believe that George knew you were 18. It's not a small oopsie.
What I meant to say in that original stream where I said I was freshly 18. I said I was freshly 18 and just out of high school. What I meant to say was I was 18 and freshly out of high school.
Next time script your video. From now on, you're freshly whatever your age is.
I didn't fucking feel up his tits. What did he not consent to? I would like to make it clear there was no reciprocation in any sexual act. The sexual act that happened was not reciprocated. The only thing he could have not consented to was him putting his own hand on my tits.
He did not consent to you posting your videos on him to ruin his career, family and friends bonds, and irreversibly ruin his reputation. Since Miss Explicit consent needed for everything is so worried about it, he probably also did not consent to you continuously transmogrifying the story, changing bits and pieces, going back on your word, lying and manipulating, and presenting false information. Guys, I'm sorry I did not script my video, so probably I won't be making any sense. Let me just ruin this man's career real quick by not making any sense. Oopsie, looks like I just got a major piece of evidence wrong. Silly me. I've been such a clumsy, freshly 19-year-old.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I cry on my stream because I'm scared and I'm talking about my assault. I cry, and then I'm told I'm embarrassing, that I'm doing it for attention, that I'm a pick-me, that I'm dramatic. But if I sat there and I didn't cry, I know I would have been called a liar, soulless, heartless, a sociopath.
What? Admission of guilt? Did Caitibuggz fake cry? Brother, I believed you. I trust your feelings. Did you just manipulate me? I don't even know what to say. You keep digging yourself a bigger hole. Now I'm even doubting that you truly had feelings for our rapper and felt bad.
You can't do anything right in these situations, and it's fucking insane.
Stop swearing, you're freshly 19. And it's the other way around. If you come out with accusations, you can't get anything wrong. If you get one thing wrong, people will latch on to that lie and try to find more holes in your plot, which they did. It's also your fault for not scripting your video and getting everything right in the first time. You had one shot, one opportunity. You squandered it. And now there's mom spaghetti everywhere. I say allegations are no joking matter. If victims lie, then the victims that come out next lose credibility and won't have as much public support. If you accuse an abuser, you can't get any information wrong, otherwise you risk ruining someone's life with the worst kind of accusations possible. That's also why you're under so much scrutiny.
For people saying take legal action, do you know the odds of winning an assault case? Like, there's a reason. 1 out of 3 girls are assaulted in their lives. Okay, there's a reason so many of them don't come out about this. The system, you would like to believe that it's always for you. The amount of fucking injustice that happens with our system is insane. It's absolutely insane. And you sit here and see someone come out about their story, and your immediate thing is, well, take it up with the law? Like, that will serve any justice.
The odds of winning such a case are so slim because liars like you poison the well for other victims. I won't comment on her statistics. I've seen 1 in 10 women, 1 in 6, 1 in 5. She didn't care to provide evidence, so I don't care to comment on it. Next!
The amount of people telling me how I felt, or the amount of people believing from his mouth how I felt, instead of just fucking hearing me say how I felt. It's insane!
I'm not your therapist. Nor am I your friend. If you tell me something, I'll comment on it. I have a mouth and I must speak. The moment you choose to post your experience on the internet, you expose yourself to public scrutiny. Stop being a clout to gobbling. Go to therapy if you want someone listening to how you feel. The list keeps on piling up. Now you fake cried and admitted to lying by admitting to give a false piece of evidence. A very important one at that. You're also generalizing. There are far more people who watched your videos and still came out with the same conclusions as me, that you are a lying, manipulative, clout demon, and a very good actor. Not everyone can fake cry as well as you did. Your story has more holes than a termite-infested home.
I will acknowledge that there are inconsistencies, but when I have inconsistencies in my story and I address them and I acknowledge it, my whole story's out.
You're providing false information. Do that in your court case and see where does that get you. People criticize George as much as they do you. He lost his Feastables connections over your flimsy allegations. He lost friends. He lost sponsors. He lost credibility. You were exposed as a manipulative liar. Womp womp. You started it in the first place. Don't cry. Next time prepare better. Don't make light out of serious situations. You're setting a precedence for both sides.
The one thing we agree on. The one thing that we agree on is the fact that he touched me and didn't ask if I was okay with it.
This is not a gotcha moment. This is real life, not anime. He touched you and admitted to it. He said that he was sorry for your bad experience. With this being said, you cuddled for a full hour. You did not hint at the fact that you were uncomfortable. Sorry girl, context matters. You didn't say no is no excuse. The fact of the matter is that you also didn't give clues to make George back down. Never back down, never what? You also never tried to leave. Use your legs, brother. Walk away.
Sitting up. We were all on a couch. Everything and anything you could consider cuddling, I saw that as a friendly, like, drunk, what you do with your friends. I was doing it with my best friend that was right next to me as well, you know?
No, I don't know. Strangers don't cuddle. Strangers don't drink alcohol inside of a private room, cuddle and talk about private stuff. What you see is not what I see. And not what George sees. So what you think is just that, what you think. I'm also not cuddling my friend of the opposite sex for a full hour. That's what you call a sign that the other person wants to be more than friends. And your best friend is not George. George was a stranger cuddling you. Ew, stranger danger. Embarrassing.
I didn't believe that it was an invitation for anything sexual or that it would lead to anything sexual, especially it being in front of a bunch of people.
Guys, I undressed myself, oiled up, and started full on grinding on him. But I didn't believe it was anything sexual. I didn't think it would lead to anything sexual. Well, now you know that will probably lead to something sexual, you dingus.
Everything that I've worked for is overshadowed by this. When you look up my name, this is what it is. I'm fucking defined by this now. You know? And there's no coming back from that. Why would I want that?
It's your fault for coming out with a poor video exposing your alleged abuser. Next time, go to therapy instead of using the internet as your therapist. Maybe. Only after that come out with a more coherent story. Also, you refuse to let the topic die and move on, since you had to make another video. The quicker you move on and start doing other stuff, the quicker people will forget and you can resume your career as a content creator. Maybe someday later this will only be a footnote in your history. Well, not now that you're self-reporting as a manipulative liar.
But anytime again he readmits to the fact that he touched me without consent, it's followed with a but. It's followed with a yes, I touched you. Yes, I didn't ask if it was okay. But you were smiling.
Okay, so people can't defend themselves now? You accuse them and we're supposed to believe you 100% of whatever comes out of your mouth? I mean, you're making a big butt video here. He tickled my belly, but he also tickled my boobies. I lied about him knowing my age, but I didn't think it was that big of a mistake. I fake cried, but if I didn't fake cry, you wouldn't have believed me. The fact is that you have nothing to say about this video. You don't pick anything major apart. You don't show that he did know your age. You don't show that you made efforts to de-escalate the situation and try to leave.
I saw the effect Shelby had on me. Seeing another content creator, someone I looked up to, speaking out about something that happened, realizing that someone I looked up to went through the same thing as me. You don't understand what that does. You don't understand how that feels. I wanted to be that for other people.
You and Shelby are not the same. Shelby went through therapy, internalized what happened to her with the help of a professional, scripted a video, and exposed Wilbur as a biter. You used the internet as your therapist. You had a lot of holes and inconsistencies in your story. You released a follow-up video, said that you fake cried, added more details to the story like they were Lego, and admitted to lying in important parts of your story. I believed what you felt that night. I believed you when you cried on stream. I believed you were a victim. I still don't believe that George said you though, but I believed some of your story. Now I don't. You're a lying, manipulative, clout goblin who tried to ruin someone's career because you internalized your bad experience, as I say. Thank you for giving me the material for my slop. So leave a like if you've liked the video, leave a dislike if you've disliked it, comment down below if you think that Caitibuggz is a lying, manipulative clout demon, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!